Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Trends. In this video we'll be listing the top 10 times Rick Harrison took massive risks on Pawn Stars. But before we head into that, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and let's get right into the list. At number 10 we have the 1961 Fender Stratocaster. Rick, a guitar admirer, makes you think that it's probably impossible for Rick to buy a fake instrument, but that's not really the case. At season 8, a musician named Vic Flick came into the shop to sell his 1961 Fender Stratocaster. Victor Harold Flick is an English guitarist best known for playing the guitar riff in the James Bond theme. He also played the distinctive guitar riff in the intro and bridge of the Herman's Hermits recording of Silhouettes, a 1965 UK top 5 hit. Therefore, Vic was hoping that he could sell his guitar for a high price, and that's where Rick took the risk. Rick paid him $55,000, but the catch is the guitar didn't come with the case, which means that it might not even be the real guitar. Rick sadly sold it on an auction for a much lower price. That's gonna hurt. At number 9 we have the signed book. A seller came into his shop with a book that has a famous baseball player's signature. Joseph Jefferson Jackson, nicknamed Shoeless Joe, was an American outfielder who played Major League Baseball in the early 1900s. He was illiterate, therefore his signature is very unique. Rick eventually bought the book for $13,000, which is quite a lot for the baseball legend's signature, but Rick thought that he could sell it for a higher price. After he sold it, he consulted a book expert, Rebecca. Sadly, she confirmed that it was fake, and Rick was also told by another authenticator that the signature was a really bad forge. That's $13,000 gone, just like that, because of the risk Rick took. At number 8, we have the diamond earrings. At a History Channel segment in 2010, Rick was cheated by a girl's best friend. It didn't quite air, but it is worth to be mentioned that these people fooled one of the most popular pawn shops. A man came into the shop offering to sell diamond earrings. Rick asked him as many questions as he could and got the answers he needed. Rick was persuaded and he paid the man $40,000, but the next day the police showed up and they said that the diamonds were stolen. Even though the criminal was taken to jail, Rick's money will not be able to go back into his pocket. At number 7 we have the JFK Cigar Box. One of the most historic items ever to pass through Golden Gavel Pawn was a cigar box that belonged to President John F. Kennedy while he was in office. The box was on the president's desk in the Oval Office and even had a handful of cigars still in it. The shop paid $60,000 after considerable haggling, hoping they could even make more of the piece of American history. Thankfully, Rick had no problems with this, but he did pay $60,000, which is a lot of money. At number 6 we have the two 1932 Lincoln Roadsters. The luxury version of the Roadster came in for even more money than the custom one, but there was no way that the Harrison family could pass it up. This immaculately maintained car cost Rick $95,000, and the owner happily traded the cash back to him for an equivalent amount of gold. Luckily nothing went wrong here, but that's still a really big risk. At number 5 we have the 1961 Gibson SG Les Paul guitar. Yes, we have another guitar on the list, which is one of the biggest purchases Rick has ever made. The third and final guitar on the list was previously owned by Mary Ford, the wife of Les Paul himself. She even co-wrote a number of massive hits with the guitar legend. This particular guitar would have been a rare and valuable instrument even without the history behind it. But considering that it came from rock royalty, Rick had to pay $90,000 to get his hands on it. That's a whopping $90,000 for a guitar, and just imagine if it wasn't real. At number 4 we have 200 plus pounds of silver. The most expensive purchase in the show's history was aggravatingly simple: raw precious metal. A visitor to the shop brought in 200 pounds of silver, purchased 12 years previously when the price was much lower. Rick paid out $111,000 for the mound of metal, knowing he could parcel it out himself for a healthy profit. That's $111,000. At number 3 we have the 1987 Jaguar XJ6. a man that offered Rick a 1987 Jaguar XJ6 offered to sell it for $5,000. Rick offered him $2,200, but then they both agreed on $2,500. After that, Rick brought the car to customs and they said that the car still needed some fixing that would cost them even more money, more than what the car is worth. They had to throw $3,500 for new tires, a paint job, and more. But the biggest loss is where Rick gave the car back to the owner. Rick lost the car and also the $2,500. At number 2, we have the antique 19th century Wells Fargo Stagecoach Strongbox. For this one, Rick tried to use his gut, but it didn't really go so well. The box also had balls in them that the seller thought were special. Rick later bought the box, but it turns out to be a fake. Not just a fake, the authenticator Mark said that it's a complete fantasy. It doesn't even exist. That means Rick can't sell it in an auction. At number 1, we have the auction. For the final one, such as the nature of his business, he took this Indian with a sidecar, a Vic Flick-owned Stratocaster guitar, and some other items, and took them to Julian's Auctions in LA. He told the Indie Channel that he ended up losing $100,000 that day, $29,000 on the motorcycle, $35,000 on the guitar, and various other losses. This is one of the biggest losses ever in Pawn Stars history. Anyways guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please like this video, comment something nice, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!